Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? Welcome to another video reaction, and today we're gonna be jumping back in True Detective. We're in episode 3 of season 1. So far I've been enjoying the hell out of the show. Even more so than just the murder mystery aspect of it. I've just been really liking the acting, the characters, and the writing so far in terms of just the character interactions. I've been loving them. As I said, I think I mentioned it in the previous episode. Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson are like two of my favorite actors ever. So this is just like a perfect combination for me. But yeah, I've really just been having a blast jumping into this show. Some of you guys have been commenting like this is like one of the best seasons of TV ever. So you guys have definitely hyped this up so far, and it has delivered. Maybe I'm just kind of like thinking, what I'm hoping for right now maybe is for them to get me even more invested maybe in the actual crime. It's interesting so far, but it hasn't grabbed me in the same way that the characters have and their storylines have. So I'm thinking for this to actually be one of the best seasons of television, I also think that I need to also be invested in the actual crime mystery that they're trying to solve. So far it looks like it might be actual satanic rituals, maybe some paraphysical stuff or something, because Matthew McConaughey's character, he also said that yeah, I might be hallucinating sometimes, but when I saw those birds forming that satanic symbol or whatever, those were real. So I'm kind of like thinking, wait a minute, what does that mean? Are we actually dealing with actual Satan? So, hey, we're gonna see what we're gonna see in this third episode. Before we jump into this though, as always, I do need to give a special shout out to my amazing Patreons. Hayden Coyle, Machiavelliaton, Precious Lily White, Mars of France, Nettles, Heather, Berry Switch, Archangel, Irene AK, and Chuck Love. Thank you guys so much for being patrons of the channel. Your support means the world to me. For anybody who would like to check out the Patreon, the link is in the description down below. For full-length reaction, Patreon exclusive benefits, a link to our Discord that we sometimes do some live reactions there. Make sure that you click on the link down below. I don't think I have anything else to say. Let's jump right into True Detective episode 3 of season 1, guys. Let's go. So we are left off. They found this church, right, that they were looking for, or at least they think they found this church.
Him as your footprints in the ashes, but he saw you.
Gotta love the lighting too.
He saw you in those dark corners.
I have commented, I think, before a little bit on like North American churches. No disrespect. I mean, you know, I love you guys, but they always felt like all these preachers. They felt always a bit like cultists to me. I mean, I'm Orthodox Christian, so we're different, but it's way different than this. Like,
what do you think the average IQ of this group is, huh?
What do you know about these people?
Observation and deduction, obesity, poverty, a yen for fairy tales. Folks putting what few bucks they do have in the little wicker baskets being passed around. Nobody here's gonna be splitting the atom, Marty.
Not everybody wants to sit alone in an empty room beating off the murder manual.
I mean, that's not what he talked about at all.
They divide you from what your heart knows. And there are a lot of good hearts out there. I'm looking out there. I'm seeing a lot of good hearts out there.
I mean, can you imagine if people didn't believe things they get up to?
Exact same thing they do now, just out in the open.
I hate this argument. I despise this argument, actually. Because what do you mean you need religion to tell you what is morally correct or not? See, I'm judging people that say this instantly. Because, like, so you mean to tell me that you feel in your own head that if you weren't, like, bombarded with the horror stories of, oh, you're gonna go to hell, whichever hell, of whichever religion you believe in, if you do this, you're gonna go to hell, and that's why you don't do it, not because what you do might inflict harm, distress, pain, like sadness, all of the above, to something or somebody. Well, if that is your barrier, then you are a dangerous human being by default. So what do you mean to tell me? It's like, if for whatever reason someday you snap and you're like, oh, there is no God, that's when these are the people that end up doing some of the most horrific shit. Never mind the people that do it in name of religion, which is just another different conversation entirely. But let's say like you're a person that for whatever reason believe that the reason people are good is because religion says you need to be good and it defines what is morally good or not. So if for whatever reason you stop believing at some point, then you're gonna start doing all those shit because suddenly you're like, oh, I have no moral barrier anymore. Everything, I can do everything because I'm not gonna get punished. So like the only reason why you were a decent person is because of fear of punishment. And again, I'm not here to preach anything. Like I'm not saying that I'm not religious. But it's just such horseshit. Such horseshit.
If the only thing keeping a person decent is the
Thank you.
expectation of divine reward,
Thank
then
you.
that person is a piece of shit.
Thank you. Wait. Why are we here? Why are we here? Why are we here? Why am I here with Ras?
You gotta get together. Tell yourself stories that violate every law of the universe. Just to get through the goddamn day.
You figure it's all a scam, huh? All them folks?
Mm-hmm.
They just wrong.
Oh, yeah. Been that way since one monkey looked at the sun and told the other monkey, he said, for you to give me your fucking share. So goddamn frail, they'd rather put a coin in a wishing well than buy dinner.
Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, your arms open.
I don't use $10 words as much as you, but for a guy who sees no point in existence, you sure fret about it an awful lot. And you still sound panicked.
He does have a point there, but I did say that Rush's character, I feel like, I don't want to say, no, I don't think that any of this is a front at all, but that's why I need to know when did he start, like, this descent into complete nihilism and pessimism. Usually, you know, people that are like thinkers like this, like for example, let's take it to religion, right? They might say that they are like, I don't believe in God, right? And that's very well true. But in your own way, you are still trying to find a meaning in life, just in general. Not necessarily your life. If you reach the point of complete pessimism, you still are not trying to find a meaning. It's not like you're trying to find a meaning in your life, but you're still trying to find a general understanding of how things are. Or some of them think they have it figured out. And let's be honest, guys, even though, like, all of you guys are like, oh, I know what it is. No, look at these stupid people believing in God. With the way you have deconstructed everything in your brain, or the information that you've taken from scientists, and I'm not denying that they're actual scientists, you know, and you're like Rask said, like, they have redefined all the natural laws of the universe. Well, the natural laws of the universe are things that we discovered through science, right? Science is still a man-made, human-made concept. So we have distributed attributes, elements into things. For example, gravity. We have discovered the atoms. You know, we're talking about the Big Bang, how that happened. Still though, it's still with our understanding of things. I like this analogy. And again, I'm not trying to preach anything, I'm just talking here. I like this analogy though still, where it's like, in a colony of ants, right? The ants are just moving, right? In their reality, in their space. You can be standing, like I could be standing where I'm at, and right in front of me in the desk, there's a whole colony of ants, just doing doing their natural living, you know? Carrying food, you know, following each other, doing all that stuff, what ants do. I'm not 100% sure what ants actually do. But you know, we've all seen colonies of ants going about their business. Those ants are going about their business and they have pretty set roles. They understand what they're doing. They don't believe in a god, obviously. Well, I'm saying obviously, we don't know. Like, with with what we understand of ants and most animals, they don't believe in higher power. But at the same time, those ants, they have a pretty great understanding of their world, of their existence, what exists around them. But from their understanding and their perspective, they have it figured out. But they are completely oblivious to you looking at them right there. Like I am me, and I'm looking at this colony of ants right in front of me, and they are like, well, we have it figured out. We understand it. We know how this goes. We are ants. We understand the life of ants. We get it. We're ants. That's what we do. But still, they're oblivious to me being like 10 meters away, just staring at them or whatever, right? From here. They don't know that I exist. You know? But they have their life figured out. They know how it works. So, you know, scientists, they're like, we understand how it goes. We know how this works. Well, with human understanding, you understand how this works, yes. But what is to say that there are not other higher levels of understanding that you just will never comprehend? Not in this life, at least. Not in this existence, not in this body. All this to say that, you know, at the end of the day, even characters like Rust, they're still trying to understand what it is. And a lot of them, people like that, they have reached they've used their cognitive dissonance. They have like put things together. They have done 1 + 1 = 2 in their brains, with trying to take in hopefully as much information as they have from credible sources, and they're like, yeah, this makes sense. This does not make sense. I see how people that believe in this thing act, and it's kind of illogical and irrational, and I'm not going to argue against that. So I'm going to go with the side that does not act like that. That side still doesn't mean that they're 100% correct, and those other people are 100% wrong. We cannot talk in absolutes, no matter how sure you think you are about it, or how smart you think you are. You can never talk in absolutes. I don't think that there's a smart person that talks in absolutes, at least when it comes to existential concepts, because you need to be real with yourself and like understand that you're still just a human being, and you don't have the meaning of life figured out. You don't understand exactly how this shit works. What was I to say? Yeah, Russ and people like him, they reach that point because they want to understand. For them to start deconstructing reality, or deconstructing religion, let's say, not reality, it's very often a sort of like defense mechanism. Very often a person or somebody that has had, I don't want to say hope ripped out of them. By definition, a pessimist is somebody that sees very little. There's no light at the end of the tunnel for a pessimist. But that is still a coping mechanism. Similar to how he's saying religion is a coping mechanism for a lot of people, which it is. The complete nihilistic attitude and the pessimistic attitude. Look at all these people that don't understand, but I understand, and there's nothingness. That's still a coping mechanism for that person. It's just, you know, two different sides of the same coin. But they're both coping mechanisms. So, you know, I'm not gonna start giving Woody Harrelson's character too much credit here, but, you know, he's not entirely wrong. So yeah, I rambled again for a lot of time. I don't know even how much of this I'm gonna keep, but yeah.
Life that you'll fall in love and be fulfilled. Fucking fulfillment. Fucking nothing's ever fulfilled until the very end and closure. No, nothing is ever over.
Well, life eventually is over. At least
Minister
this
Terry.
life.
You recognize this girl?
No, I don't remember the name. Came pretty regular when we was in Eunice.
How long were you in Eunice?
About 6 months. Widow in Opelousas, leased as cheap.
Great preaching. How long you been doing this?
Been a preacher almost 20 years.
You with the church before that?
Independent evangelical.
So back in Eunice, who painted the mural on the church wall?
Our children from our congregation painted. Something happened to this girl you looking for?
Mr. Terrio, can we see the identification of your staff members?
This is like the makeshift church now. It used to be where they were, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if she was with him. I just saw them talking. I didn't get close or anything. He was hunched forward, talking to her, skin shiny around his jaw.
Ah, what, like burn? Huh.
Burnt
So did she
skin
live
around
with him?
so.
Public exposure. Whacking off outside of school.
They gave me bad medicine. I didn't know. I paid for that. I paid for that.
Okay.
Can you account for his whereabouts? He left a painting of the crime scene on one of your old churches.
Was she raped, detective?
Totally specific
Why would you ask that?
question? Yes, right?
If you speak to Bert alone, I believe you'll be adequately convinced of his innocence, detective.
The ontological fallacy of expecting a light at the end of the tunnel. Well, that's what the preacher sells. Same as a shrink. Courage is your capacity for illusion. Then he tells you it's a fucking virtue. There's always a buck to be had doing that. A desperate sense of entitlement, isn't it? Me, I'm so fucking important. I'm so fucking important, right? Fuck you.
How many beers in is he? I'm counting 3 beers. It's not too bad.
I ran checks on all of them. Everyone's got a clean record except for Bert.
Pays for it, gets ashamed, overreacts, tries to redeem the act.
That's not bad, Marty.
Well, yeah, I got all the way there without your help.
It's not him.
Give me the second half.
Angola. Some bloods caught him in the shower. Took his balls off with a razor. They were sloppy about it.
Oh, so he's a eunuch.
We can put some troopers on this place, have them surveil it, but I think we should move on. He wanted us to find this one. You know, like he was showing off that cane fields are a stage.
Yeah, that's definitely what it looked like. He did say like it looks like his own art piece or something.
Now we need to go back, check off files, any DBs in state the last 5 years. We start there.
We don't have the hours.
They're going to falsely identify somebody. And that's why, like, when they caught him in 94, it was not him. Because they're in a rush, they're being pressured by both the state and the police department. They're on a time threshold, and they will. And I already see Marty being like, "Let's wrap this up. Can we just wrap this up?" He already is rushing to blame it on Bert, the dude that we saw in that church. He was kind of rushing to it. He's like, "Come on." I can see why he would do it. And now I'm seeing him being like, we don't have time for this. To do the proper steps for us to reach a definitive conclusion that it will be 100% argument proof. So I think that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna falsely identify somebody.
You're obsessive.
You're obsessive too, just not about the job.
Not me, brother. I keep things even, separate. Like the way I can have just one beer without needing 20.
People incapable of guilt usually do have a good time.
This is the second time, right on your face.
Too hard on. You know the real difference between you and me?
Yeah. Denial.
The difference is
He said
that I know
denial.
the difference between an idea and a fact. You are incapable of admitting doubt.
I doubt that.
He's a troll. He's a
We'll
troll.
put out an APB on any tall man with facial scarring.
You ever think maybe he tried to push things where he wanted them to go?
No, we went where the case led us.
But you took it up, though. his serial theory.
Arrogant as he could be, he was right. And that's how we got our man.
Oh. But the wrong man.
Look, I did all the counseling and stuff.
Okay, also, these
this
kids, he needs to start paying better attention to these two little kids. I don't know where they're getting all these ideas in their heads that they've been getting. They're probably watching too much TV. Somebody, I don't know. And then his wife also needs to do a better job. Because that scene that we saw in the last episode, still the most disturbing scene in this entire show so far. Also, so they did catch a serial murderer though. So this could also like be a cult thing still. So that maybe they didn't falsely identify him.
I think I am better.
You really think so?
Trust me.
Maybe you just think you prefer it this way because it's what you're used to, huh?
That was an interesting scene they just threw in there. Him with Marty's wife and their two kids in his house. That's what I'm talking about. He's gonna get with his wife. He's gonna get with Marty's wife.
Brought the mower back.
Mow my yard?
Yeah, I saw it needed mowing.
Trying to get Russ to stay for dinner.
And she's trying to get him to stay for dinner.
Stay for dinner, Russ.
No, I think I gotta get. Maggie, thank you for the tea.
100% what's gonna
I'll walk
happen.
you out. What the hell do you think you're doing, man? At my house when I'm not here.
Just what you think I'd be doing over here? You're not around, Marty. What's our problem?
I just don't ever want you mowing my lawn, all right? I like mowing my lawn.
Something tells me he's not talking about an actual.
Those drawings you did in school.
Oh shit. Why did she
Run to
do?
your room.
Why?
Because I said so. Run.
Is it what it was with those dolls?
Yeah, but where did you get that idea?
The girls dared me to do it.
That upsets people, Audrey. It's ugly. It makes something that should be nice ugly.
That's just a good way to describe it to a kid, to be honest.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh.
It's okay, sweetie. Well, you know, I'm not saying that I got any room to talk, but do you know what it means to be a father?
Do you know what it means to be a father? That was such a beautiful. No, that's like, because the context is not. But that's such a smart way to describe it to a kid. Because you don't want your child to be like, to grow up feeling like sex is bad. And if the child grows up and for whatever reason has these representations in front of it, I guess from somewhere, still, you don't want your child to grow up fearing sex or thinking that sex is something bad, something disgusting that she should be ashamed of. At the same time though, the way she described it, her mother, that was amazing. That was brilliant. Good job. But I noticed they kind of like showed that he was kind of like halfway paying attention and halfway actually trying to. It's like he was almost like halfway detached from the situation. Wait, these are the drawings? Okay, they were like pretty basic, nothing too crazy, just a man and a woman.
Concerned? It's her. I'm concerned.
Well, she's just trying to get attention. Jesus, how do they even know about that stuff yet?
Girls always know before boys.
Why is that?
Because they have to. Listen to me. She asks about you and she wants to know why you're working so much now. Last week,
I'm sorry about that. I should have begged off. We were having a good night.
don't stop me. Talk.
Pull that case from us and I'll be around more and we'll do things.
Why is there all this space between us, Marty?
I don't know what you mean.
You do know what I mean, and you won't say, and
I
that's it.
think she knows
That's what I'm talking
that
about.
he's cheating.
We change, don't we? And sometimes not for long.
And here I'm thinking, people don't really change at all. Not who they are at heart.
And I'm not talking about the part that's all my fault, but part of it, it's just life. We used to spend weekends without leaving my room.
That's not
Remember that? You know, but it's
Of course we don't
life.
screw like we're 19.
I'm sorry, Maggie. sorry for everything. For not being here, for taking all this for granted.
Look at, like, she just wants you to be genuine, and
What
you're
have you been doing, Marty?
not ever.
Work, home, cases. Look, I can see 40.
What is she talking about right now?
Coyote.
What is she talking about?
I think I'm all fucked up.
Yes, you are.
She said a whole bunch of nothing. Nothing, like, you can tell that she loves him, though. I feel like she knows. I don't know if she definitely like she knows specifics. I think she knows he's cheating. It's kind of like doesn't want to believe it, or kind of like accept it, or
Marty.
dig in deeper into it.
I used to be pretty good in there myself. Not as good as Rust.
You're not bad. It's not you. There's a weight, and it's got its fish hooks in your heart and your soul. Now what you did is not your fault. It's not.
Who is this person? What did he do?
Wouldn't let you
She's
out.
not the one they're looking for. Or are they interrogating people with, like, burnt faces and shit?
Things, Chris.
Can't leave until I go all over the drawers.
Listen to me, son. You got one way out, and it's through the grace of God. You are only as the Lord made you.
I want that. I want that. I'm asking. Tell me. Please just tell me what to say. I want to confess.
Not the one
Sorry
they were
about
looking
that.
for?
You're a cis record, man. That's something else.
Look him in the eyes, the whole story's right there. Everybody wears their hunger in their haunt, you know? You just gotta be honest about what can go on up here. A locked room. Each one is so sure of their realness. You know that their sensory experience constituted a unique individual with purpose, meaning.
I mean, you don't know
So
that.
certain that they were more than a biological puppet.
You don't know that. These are not like... I was like, is that mine? Okay. These are not like victims of similar circumstances. These are like different victims of different cases, I assume that he was looking at.
I wouldn't say that. Definitely not shy about
Are they trying to find him, a woman?
Yeah, intense, more like, introvert.
I don't want another drunk. The last cop you showed me.
Well,
He's up in my lap.
about
Don't worry
that.
about that.
Is he drunk right now?
Hey, Maggie.
Well, you walk over here? No? Okay.
Sure, a scent me put a note in my head.
I've heard of that. It can be a side effect.
Oh shit! Side chick is having a side dude, or she's actually having a main dude, and you're the side dude now. So you better act accordingly, Marty.
I could. Yeah.
The waitress will bring him, babe.
Well, wait. I'll be right back.
Hi, can I have another beer? Thank you.
What are you doing?
Does it look like I'm on a date, aren't you?
No, he's not on a date actually. He's in a many-year relationship. They're actually married and he has 2 children. That's not a date. It's like he's out with his wife, trying to set up his partner with a date. But that's his wife. It's just, I don't know. I feel like she has it a little bit confused too. He definitely has it confused. She also, you know.
You trying to talk divorce?
My God, Marty, I don't want to marry you. That's my whole point. It's just run its course.
Now this looks like fun. Are these like were they common in the South? Slow dance with drinks and alcohol, and you can also have tables and a live band. This looks like a cool setting. I'm not gonna lie.
What did you do in Paris?
Mainly just got drunk in front of Notre Dame.
Now you tell a girl you've been to Paris, they instantly get interested.
All the useless spinning, tired mind, collisions, desire, and ignorance.
I see dismantling this beer bottle. I do this too sometimes. Not beer bottles, but I just if I'm like occupied with something and I'm just kind of like in my own space. If I have something in my hand, I'll do try dismantling it. Even if I can't, I'll try. Sometimes I'm successful and then I look at it and I'm like, oh, I needed this.
I've never been in a room more than 10 minutes. I didn't know whether the guy did it or not.
Oh, that's a big statement.
How long does it take you?
Oh, he's like, oh, he's like, I know that this is kind of like you're trying to like see if I am viable as a suspect, actually. So what is taking you so long? We've been talking about this. It's been 3 episodes. You're like, you still don't know if I did it or not? He's sitting on them. He's sitting on their detective skills.
For me?
Go home. I don't want this anymore.
You got that little shit bird in here?
Go away. I'll call the cops.
Well, let's see how that works
I know
out
other
for
cops.
you. Okay.
She said she was singing.
Stop it! Stop it! Oh. Please, stop it!
I'm not a psycho.
Well, I don't know if I believe you, Marty. This is so ironic. What he's saying right now, it's so contradictory, bro. It's so contradictory, bro. Like, he's balanced. He's balanced. You're imbalanced. You're all over the place. You lash out. You supposedly have your safe haven, which is your family, but you don't, because you don't see them. You basically spend very little time with them. You don't care about what your children are up to, really. You don't care about what your wife wants. You're only focused about what you want. As I said, you don't have balance in your life. You're all over the place. What if he... No, I'm not gonna say... No, that would be kind of stupid. No, he wouldn't be the one to blame. She wouldn't be. But that was kind of like a crazy reaction right there. Act like you've had a side chick before. Like, this is the first time? What, you expect her to be loyal? While you're living a happily married life? It's not a detective show if you don't have a shot like this with all the context clues laying either on the floor or on the board.
Let's go.
Russ, you're home. It's me. I gotta put you on the spot. You know if it's true?
I didn't hear anything. And then again, I wouldn't. I mean, Tracy wouldn't pull me. He hates me.
You drop Jen at home?
Yeah. I walked her to the door.
You don't have to fall in love at first sight, you know.
No, I know. Look, she's nice. Pretty.
I think you guys would be good together if you gave it a chance.
Trying to play matchmaker.
And we don't mind being alone. Go to bed, Maggie. Morty will be home. Take care.
Yep, that's what I said. He doesn't mind being alone. He's balanced.
Think man can love 2 women at once?
I don't think that man can love. At least not the way that he means. The inadequacies of reality always set in.
That's your fault. That's your fault. You know you didn't know the answer. Why are you asking him? You know the answer. Don't ask this man anything about love. Don't ask this man anything about life. Don't ask this man anything about religion. Don't ask this man if you don't want. No, actually, if you're interested in his point of view, yes. But you already know where he's going with this. Love. humans love. Oh, I love Rust. I love him.
You wonder ever you're a bad man?
No, I don't wonder, Morty.
I know.
World needs bad men.
Wasn't surprised they found her like that.
What accent is
Everybody
this?
think they gonna be something they not.
She had a boyfriend, you know about, a man?
And she took up with that Ledoux fella. Older boy, shit family. Run off with him. I ain't never had nobody ask me about him before. They just tell me she died in the flood.
How about her parents, other relatives?
Father's merchant seaman. Mother's in California last I heard.
Do you have anything of hers, possessions?
What you boy looking all this up for? I was told she drowned in the flood. Now, I ain't no idiot. You telling me she ain't done drowned?
We don't know that, sir.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
He ended up having a little box of her stuff, had her last yearbook, 10th grade. Not a hint of feeling from the old man. Kind of guy, blinders. Anyway, I guess that's one way to do it. Keep your eyes on the crab traps. Kind of reminded me of Rust a little bit.
The school was part of Tuttle's foundation.
So the governor, right? House of Wars Christian Academy. School closed until further notice.
This place shut down in '92, right?
Yeah, the way I heard it.
What'd you hear?
Oh, Andrew blew it out. Guess they didn't think it was worth cleaning up.
I-23.
I-23, go.
No, sir. I only been coming here the last few months. Parish added it to my work order.
What did they find?
Walks that fucking slow.
I was just thinking this. Why are you not working faster?
Arnold Ledoux skipped parole 8 months ago. He's got a statch rape complaint, charges dropped. But 93, lab used to make meth and LSD, which Dora Lang and Rhiannon were full of.
Right.
Ledoux did 2 years at Avoyles, and guess who his cellmate was the last 4 months?
Charlie Lang.
I gotta give you this one.
Where's Ledoux?
Getting a list of relatives, KAs, been out of pocket since jumping parole. We'll find him.
We're on our way.
To Avoyles.
Fuck yeah, Martin, let's go. I'm calling the Interstate APB.
Okay, they think they have their man, but we know that even if he goes... So it's interesting that we know that the aftermath was...
And finally, we arrive at Reginald Ledoux.
You ever been in a gunfight?
No.
Well, how the fuck you gonna know what I'm talking about?
So they're preparing us for a gunfight.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean when I'm talking about time and death. Or 14 straight hours of staring at DBs. These are the things you think of. You ever done that? Even in a picture. Doesn't matter if they're dead or alive. You can still read them. And you know what you see? They welcomed it. Not at first, but right there in the last instant. It's an unmistakable relief. How easy it was to just let go.
Wow.
The last nanosecond they saw what they were. This whole big drama, it was never anything but a jerry-rig of presumption and dumb will. And you could just let go. Finally know that you didn't have to hold on so tight. All your life. Not all your love, all your hate, all your memory, all your pain. It was all the same thing. It was all the same dream. A dream that you had inside a locked room. A dream about being a person.
Wow. Damn. Damn. Talk about deconstruction of like reality and like self existence. What is this man doing? Huh? What the fuck? There's a big throwdown in the woods, right? They kind of hinted at it. So I'm guessing this is the Ledoux dude with a mask. That deconstruction of like looking at all the dead faces and that the last moments where they're like at peace, kind of like at them understanding like what existence was essentially, which in from his point of view is just that, right? This idea of us being human. But this is kind of like a bit of a too like you don't need to deconstruct the fact that we were human. we are human. We're human. Even if it's just like, even if we're like the ants, like I said in the ant analogy, that's still an ant. Like the fact that there's nothing greater about it, it doesn't mean it's antness. Similar to how like the fact that nobody's really anything special doesn't mean it's the humanness. Maybe I didn't quite understand what he was getting at. I feel like again he came from this nihilistic, pessimistic place that he always comes from. Yeah, the murder case, you know, still remains a bit on the side of this. I'm way more invested in Marty's and Maggie's relationship, how Rust fits into that, because again they hinted at him and Maggie at least once in this episode, if not twice for me. I'm almost certain that Marty, currently in this present day that they're conducting this investigation, the new guys, he and Maggie are no longer together. I don't know even if Maggie's alive or his children. I don't know. So I'm investigating that side of the story. And now the murder mystery, we're gonna have a big throwdown in the woods. We know that they captured this dude, and I think, I don't know if they'll kill him or if they'll jail him. But we know that the murders continued, so we know that this is either gonna be a false identification or it's just an overall bigger play. I am interested how the Turtles, the governor plays a role into this, because they were kind of eager for this investigation to stop. Then they wanted to pass it on to people that they sent. It feels like they're very invested maybe in this not being solved at the end of the day. So again, I think that then they dismantled that school. So why would you dismantle something? Maybe you want to get rid of evidence that existed there. You know, there's a lot of things that could be going on. But they're hinting at a big throwdown in the woods that we're gonna have to look forward to in the next episode probably. I don't know what this. I'm guessing that was the dude that they're going to go and try and catch, the man with the mask that they showed there at the end. Definitely looks out of his mind. So yeah. Marty also looks a bit out of his mind this episode. I mean, the way he reacted, I get it. He's very, he strikes me as a person that seems to be quite possessive about things that are in his head, mainly his women. Surprisingly, it doesn't seem to be that way about his kids. But yeah, he does strike me as somebody that will snap very easily. Now, I almost threw a kind of like, oh, is he gonna be somehow responsible? No, I don't think he is. Nah, he doesn't give me that. So yeah, it kind of like blows that we are heading into like a big thing here with this gunfight in the woods, but we kind of know that he's not the final guy. If there is even if there is a fire guy, you know. So great episode. Some very interesting discussions and concepts thrown around in this, from the very first scene with the church. Now the last monologue, like that was wow. I was like, damn. Just the concept of him coming to that conclusion by looking at those dead faces. Look at them, they were at peace, finding out that we are nothing. At the end of the day. Look at this, how at peace they were, finding out that this was all just like an idea that we are actually something important. At least that's how I took what he was saying. Again, maybe I don't know, did I misinterpret what he was trying to say? I also really liked when he said, it doesn't take me more than 20 minutes to find if the guy did it or not. Kind of like throwing shade at those two other detectives. Super interesting. I'm, as I said, excited to see what happens past the initial capture of the guy that they deem responsible for this, because then we're gonna get to the actual revelation of what the fuck is actually going on, maybe. But also they have hyped up this next battle in the woods, this next gunfight in the woods from quite early, so I'm interested to see how that is. So yeah, let me know if I pose too much. I'll try to cut it down. If you guys feel like I pose too much in these reactions, let me know. But this is the type of show that there are some scenes that I'm trying to like not speak at all, so because I want to hear what is being said and try and catch everything that is being said. And then when I have to talk, I feel like in this type of show I need to pause it. So let me know, guys. Again, thank you so much, guys, for joining me in another reaction, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm having a blast with this. Have a good one, guys. Bye.